our paths.
I am pleased to report that the battle at sea goes well, War Chief. Our forces report decisive victories off the coasts of Daenerys and Tol Barad.
Alliance blood spills. This pleases me, General.
There's more. I've received word that our southern fleet engaged an Alliance envoy. We chased the royal flagship until it ran aground.
Aground? Where?
Apparently, they found a massive, uncharted landmass, shrouded by dense mists.
And you let the Alliance get there first! Redirect the invasion fleet! General, you and your best veterans will pave our way. Storm the shore, and paint this new continent red!
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. If there was ever something that helps display how much of an idiot Garrosh is, that was it right there. I want you to imagine you receive the news that we've just discovered this giant landmass that no one has ever seen before. Apparently they found it. It was covered up by mist, and we discovered this brand new continent that nobody ever knew was there. How would you react to that news? How many different kind of possible reactions could you, like thoughts would cross your mind? Like, oh my gosh, what could be there? How big is it? Are there any people there? Could they be friendly? Could they be hostile? Like, there would be all these questions you would have, right? Garrosh hears that news, and the first thing he says, in less than a second, he didn't miss a beat. Within a second of Nazgrim finishing his sentence, he said, "And you let them get there first?" It's such a perfect example as to how much of an idiot Garrosh is. I'm letting you guys know right now, I'm not going to hold back on... I hate Garrosh. I despise Garrosh. Now, I want to clarify. I think he's a good character as a villain. I think once they really understood that they need to stick with him being a villain, I think he was written well. That doesn't mean I like him. And this is where I get so annoyed and irritated by folks who constantly defend Garrosh or say the stupid meme, Garrosh did nothing wrong. I just roll my eyes and just think to myself, do you guys really not know how many horrible things Garrosh did? And here's the thing. In Cataclysm, they tried to... Well, there was a misunderstanding between the writers and confusion, which is what led to the Stone Talon thing, which was never supposed to actually be a part of that, but because they were confused on what they wanted to do with him, it's something that everyone latches onto. The thing is, though, by the time Pandaria came around, they had a good, direction in mind of what they were actually wanting to do with Garrosh, which is, we're going to make him the villain. In fact, we're not just going to make him the villain. Here's the thing. And I keep trying to tell people this, and they look at me as if I'm a weirdo or just, completely off the mark. But the thing is, if you pay attention to the story and the writing throughout this expansion, they tried to... The writers wanted to have the way Garrosh made his orcish true horde. It was supposed to be a representation of the story of the rise of the Third Reich. Now, you may think I'm crazy saying that, but really think about it. Think about what Garrosh's true horde was about, what they stood for, what they wanted to do. The whole, we only want to be orcs, with the exception of Blackviews, because we are superior to everyone. And really think about some of the things that Garrosh says about, wanting to, paint continents red, full of blood, and such. And he'll even say this when we fight him in Siege of Orgrimmar. But, that orc superiority, it's only about the orcs. kind of a lot of racial superiority, isn't it? I say this because I keep trying to tell people about how they really were doing, like, the writers intended to have the rise of Garrosh's true Orcish horde to replicate the way... I'm dancing around the words because apparently if you say them, YouTube will actually go out of its way to either demonetize your video or mute you, or like cut it out. But I've told people that if you look at the rise of Garrosh's Orcish horde in the same way of the rise of the Third Reich in real life, that was the writer's intention. Because, again, a lot of these fictional things are inspired by real-life history and stories. I mean, it's going to be a constant thing in this expansion because of the Pandarians. You think I haven't heard people bring up how the Pandarians' culture is, oh, it's just a ripoff of Eastern cultures? I'm like, yeah, and what? Like, you're not telling me anything new. Every fictional culture is based off of or inspired by a real-life culture. That's how it works. So to say this about the Pandarians to me is just like, you're just telling me water is wet. You're not telling me anything new or anything profound, you know? You're just kind of ranting about this thing that you don't like. You don't like the Pandarians, so you're trying to come up with some kind of reason as to why, and you're reaching at that point, you know? And it's like with Garrosh, people will try to... The whole Garrosh did nothing wrong thing just baffles me. When I look at all the horrible things that Garrosh did, especially also his loyal followers, the fanatics. I'm trying to avoid using the N-word because I don't want, you know, what they're called, you know, the Third Reich. Because, again, YouTube apparently is going to, like, bleep it out or mute it. But you guys know what I'm talking about, right? And I do compare Garrosh to him, you know, the leader of the Third Reich. You know who I'm talking about. His name starts with an H. You know who it is. I keep trying to tell this to people, and they just look at me like I'm a moron, when the thing is, that's what the writers intended. That's part of the point of the story of Pandaria. When they focused on Garrosh, that was kind of the what they were doing there. That was their intention. So, this is Pandaria. It's not nearly as tranquil as I've been told. Well, keep in mind we're on an orc warship right now, Eternus, so this is not exactly the best representation of that. I'm just saying. By the way, in case you're wondering about why the ship is on fire, don't worry about that. We just happened to run into some Alliance forces that we're having a firefight with. It's not a big deal. While we're doing this up here as Horde, the same thing is happening down here as Alliance. Just saying. If you want to see that, you can see my Alliance playthrough of this.
Time is set in sand, not stone.
Good luck, PapaNeeks. We'll be watching you.
We will meet again.
Who are you? How did you get in here? Never mind. We need you on the guns.
For the Horde.
They shot out our engines and we floated here. Here! Right in the firing line of the enemy. You know what to do, PapaNeeks. Get below decks and man those guns. Show these scum that they're in our line of fire.
May our foes flee before you.
So we get a turret segment here. It's fine, it's fine. Just a little fire, it's fine. The goblins are on top of it. You'll notice this right here. This is part of the reward system that you're going to be able to get in this event. I'll talk more about that as we continue to gain more. Alright, let's man the guns. And let's shoot them down, filthy Alliance!
Slipping back to storm!
For the Horde! For the Ward... No, I can't say it. There was a term that became very popular during the time that Garrosh and Sylvanas were War Chief. And that term was #NotMyWarChief. And I've been part of that for a long time. You're gonna hear me say this a lot.
Right. Show them Hellscream's fury!
Screw Garrosh. Oh, hold on. I gotta destroy 4 more cannons.
Aim true! Send them limping back to Stormwind!
There we go.
Time is money, friend.
Superior Horde firepower at its finest. And you did okay too, I guess.
Keep it real. Have a good one.
Alright, hold on a second.
That better be good.
Nazgrim has taken command of the ground assault and has requested that you be sent to meet up with him immediately. We have several repelling ropes set up near the guns. Fastest way down you're gonna find. Save the one that ends poorly. I'm a demon hunter. That doesn't end poorly for me. I've got these things called wings that let me glide down. I'll be fine. I love also that some that were not had not made an evoker yet were doing that just for this event to learn how to play it. So there is so much visual storytelling throughout this expansion. I love it. You know, one example? Look at the prowlers here. Notice that they're yellow. They're not hostile. They're just yellow because they're wary because of, well, what's going on. And I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to remember that for later. Keep it in the back of your mind, okay? By the way, if you ever need to get back up to the ship, they have this little portal here. I was going to say teleporter, but this isn't Star Trek.
Keep your eyes peeled for the Alliance.
Ah, there you are. I was starting to worry we'd have to charge in and have all the fun without you.
Come what may, we fight on.
We've softened them up. Now it's time to finish them off. That fortress must be cleansed of Alliance, and we've got nowhere to keep any prisoners. You know what to do. The cowards will run if you give them the chance. See that you don't.
Our orders stand, no matter the
It's not enough that we destroy their forces. Nothing must be left for them to salvage. Take this flare gun and fire it into the munition stockpiles. Leave them nothing.
Fear nothing. The Horde shall prevail.
Alright, so I can put those in there and get bronze out of it. So, now let's do this, Chris, where I try to put the sapphire in it. Alright. Now, extract it with the extract gem button. And then we can combine 3 of them into an even stronger gem to give me even more crit strike. And that's going to be constant throughout this event. You're going to be able to get these gems constantly to continuously buff up your stats. And you can keep upgrading them until they get to orange tier, which is perfect. Which gives you, I think, +4 of that stat along with extra stamina. So right now I've got more mastery and more crit. Alright. I'm going to turn up the music a bit because it's the Pandaria music and I love the Pandaria music. I love the Pandaria soundtrack so much. By the way, in case you're wondering, certain things are not available in this event. For example, heirlooms are not even a thing, but you're not really going to need them. Huh. Level just by reaching this place.
I'm out of range. It's too far away. I'm out of range.
I did not mean to hit that labor. I am so sorry.
I need to get closer. I don't have a target. I can't do that yet.
So, notice how many different forces and such that we are absolutely wrecking and annihilating here and destroying. I want you to keep that in mind for later. Because at first we were just like, there's a local presence, who cares? The thing is, we're going to reach a point where we're going to kind of have to care. And I'm not just talking here on the Horde side, it's for both sides.
I need to target something first.
Because they both commit so much to just fighting the other side, that they both lose so much, and then they basically have to rely on the locals, who they at first didn't give a crap about, but now they kind of have to.
I need a target. I don't have a target. I need to get closer.
You'll notice that almost everything I am getting or looting is giving me some kind of extra stat or something.
I need to get closer.
I'm also kind of going out of my way to avoid hitting the Alliance people in yellow, the laborers, because they don't need to die.
It's too far away.
I'm not a bloodthirsty member of Garrosh's Horde.
Nothing shall stand in our way.
Good work, Demon Hunter. We have them on their heels.
Hellscream's eyes are upon you.
Leave them nothing.
Fear nothing. The Horde
We've
shall
learned that their captain has barricaded himself in above us. The coward allowed his forces to die while he hid from our fury. Typical Alliance. No matter, he cannot delay his fate no longer. I will scale the walls with my marines while you lead a frontal assault up the ramps. Use your flare gun and munitions near the barricades to blast your way through. We will meet you up top and destroy this pathetic excuse for a captain together.
come what may. We fight on.
Alright, so we got an extra piece of gear. Wrists. Which have this thing called a Tinker Slot. Tinker Gems are really cool, unique things that you get in this event that grant you extra cool, unique abilities. Such as, this one is Hailstorm. Every 3 seconds, build a charge of Hailstorm. Upon reaching 10 stacks, unleash a hail on enemies within 50 yards. Each impact inflicts frost damage and applies numbing cold, which reduces movement speed by 30% and reduces damage dealt by 10%. It's a really cool idea being able to, like, add extra things that your class would not normally get to do, just with the power of these gems, which I think is a really cool idea. And yeah, we're going to be getting a ton of these gems. which is fine because it gives us more variety and choice of what we actually want to use on our character. I have no idea if Demon Hunter is considered good or not for this event, but I don't really care, because this character, I'm not really intending to... The purpose of this character and the one on the Alliance side is not to do endgame content, it's to do the questing. That's the entire purpose. By the way, you'll get scrolls for other really cool things here, like buffs, or summoning! So I can actually now summon like as if I'm a warlock, isn't that great?
Here, assault their leader and we will back you up.
Hello, Captain.
You coward!
He said, "You scum will not destroy this land as you defiled Kalimdor."
Really? We defiled Kalimdor? Really?
No, my ship!
Oh, thank goodness that it missed that village. That would have killed so many people.
What is... No. No! They had an airbase! In an airbase! My ship! My... Ah! Hellscream will have my head!
Notice how he's losing color?
The tip of the Horde spear. No greater honor.
An airbase! They had a hidden airbase here this entire time! Had I known, I would have kept more men on the guns. I would have... Ah!
Our orders stand, no matter the cost. They must die.
Terran Zoo.
You, bear creature. What kind of sorcery was this?
Stranger, your own doubts have been made manifest. Pandaria is not like whatever land you come from. It lives and breathes. You should be careful what kind of energy you bring here.
Ha! We bring only our honor and the desire to crush our enemies. Have your kind been aiding the Alliance?
It is not our desire to get wrapped up in your bloodshed. Now have your men lower their weapons, or you will face 2 enemies on this continent.
I like how they lower their weapons after he says that. I don't have Fell Blade yet, so I don't know if I want to grab Demon Blades just yet. Aha! So now we get Wildfire. Your attacks have a chance to inflict fire damage and spread wildfire to a nearby enemy, inflicting fire damage every second for 10 seconds. It stacks and spreads to nearby enemies, stacking 3 times. Or, Opportunist. Gain 50% critical strike chance for 4 seconds after damaging a stunned enemy. Well, I don't have my stuns yet, so that's not really... I'm going to go ahead and just do Wildfire for now. I'll hold on to this for later. So... Alright. Hello, Terran Zoo.
I have had enough of your kind.
I do not know the history of this war that you fight, and I am not interested. This land responds to negative energy in kind. The hatreds, doubts, and violence you have brought here now ooze out of Pandaria like blood from an open wound. Your actions have wrought havoc all over these ruins. Clean up after yourself and meet me in the village below. I will do my best to explain what is happening here.
Pandaria is better off without you.
I mean, he's not wrong.
May our foes flee before you.
They have an airbase. I have underestimated this alliance, Captain, for the last time. So many good warriors lost. There must have been a few survivors who were able to bail during the crash. We need every able-bodied fighter we can get. Find as many survivors as you can in the force below, and I will investigate the wreckage itself. Rally everyone together at the nearby village for a counterattack.
Hellscream's eyes are
The assistance of the nearby village has now become a necessity. We will need to use the village to regroup and tend to our wounded. Perhaps the villagers will join our cause after seeing the brutality unleashed by the Alliance. You will act as envoy for the Horde. Ensure the cooperation of their leader. Do not disappoint me.
May our foes flee before you.
So, these are Shaw. I will talk about the Shaw more
I need to target something
later.
first.
I'll either talk about it here more in this playthrough or in the Alliance one. But in one of them, I'll do a necessary, longer talk about the Shaw.
It's too far away.
And then the other one, I'll just say, oh, if you want my talk or explanation about the Shaw, then go to whatever playthrough I did. I'll say which one it is. Not to necessarily show any Horde bias, but it may end up being this Horde character.
I don't have a target.
Because, by the way, you'll notice that. You see how it's damaging me? Little nice touch there. It also puts a thing called Shaw Tendrils. Your shadow damage taken is increased by 100%. Your movement speed is reduced, but you do more damage. Nice little... Gosh, I love the little tiny things that help tell the story of this expansion. I love it so much. When I think about visual storytelling, there's two groups I usually think of. Blizzard during this kind of era. I mean, sometimes they'll do it, sometimes they won't. And God of War, or rather the recent God of War games. Not necessarily the ones that focused on Greece, but the recent ones on Norse. Oh my gosh, the visual and storytelling in that is fantastic. So remember how I pointed out the Prowlers were not hostile? They are now. Hello. Shaymaster Kieran.
Have you brought fresh corpses?
Shane, snap out of it. You're alive. Nazgrim has ordered us to report to the nearby village.
Quick and clean, friend. Quick and clean.
She took a pretty nasty spill. The damage is horrific. I haven't been able to wake her. Oh, you mean she looked like this before the crash? I have an idea. It's an old brewmaster trick.
She grabs some booze and splashes it in her face.
There we go. Good as new, I guess. What happened? I barely made it off the ship before it went down. Thank you. I'll make my way to the village. Stay safe.
And of course she's a rogue, so she stealths away.
Tell me of your travels.
Oh, the animals have all gone crazy. Normally the prowlers steer clear of the village, but now we can't seem to keep them away. I've never seen them act this way before. The mayor has summoned in the Shadow Pan, but they're not all here yet. Can you take care of those prowlers before they maul one of our farmers?
May your days bring you joy.
Hello.
But just look at this mess. All that brew gone to waste. Terenzu warned us against speaking to you outsiders, but I'll take any help I can get. We were on our way to Dawn's Blossom to deliver our brew when the fighting broke out. Now all of our brew has been lost. You want to make it up to us? Maybe you can find some of our honey brew barrels that haven't been broken. Then it would be a complete loss.
There is no hurry.
Is it Giho? Yeah, come with me. Let's go find your brew.
I will help you carry the barrels. Or did you think that they were going to magically fit in your bag?
About that. Sometimes I can fit things like an entire pants inside my bag. Don't ask. Just... I think sometimes I do have magical bags, but that's a whole separate thing. You know what? Let's not think about it. Gosh, it's been so long since I've actually used Demon's Bite.
My village will not enter your conflict, though I fear your arrival has changed our peaceful existence forever.
No kidding. Borok?
What news, friend?
I shouldn't be alive, Blood Elf. Honeydew Village is run by the Honeydews, but the real heart of the village is the brewery. The brewery belongs to my family, the Honeypaws. Best honey brew you'll find anywhere. I shouldn't be alive, Blood Elf. I should have died with the rest of my brothers.
We need to regroup, Sergeant. Go to the nearby village.
We'll rest when the battle is done, friend.
Yes, Demon Hunter. No time for mourning. Let us avenge our fallen brother and claim this land for the Horde.
How about we not do that?
Heavy, but I can hold more. Keep going. Why have you brought your war to our land? What of our homes? Was there nothing worth fighting for there?
Ouch. Ouch, pal. That one hurt.
I may have overestimated my own strength. All this fighting is such a waste. How do you people do it all the time? When do you find time to celebrate and enjoy the simple things?
Well, it depends on who you ask. By the way, you okay? That looks rather painful. Just saying.
This honey brew is the lifeblood of this village. Now that is something worth fighting for.
Okay, that's impressive how you're holding those. I'm just saying, pal. That's very impressive.
Thank you for your help, but I'll make sure this honey brew gets back to the village. Try not to blow anything else up.
It's not like I was trying to, pal. I'm just saying. But then again, I can't really blame them. We didn't exactly give them the best first impression here, did we? And I also want to point out this is not really the case just with the Horde. This is also the case with the Alliance. Okay? Just point it out. Better pants. Now let's see. What gem should we put in there now? I've got the one with 2 crit. Mastery, haste, leech, armor, versatility. Mastery, of course. Oh, hold on. Oh, I can actually fly. This is weird flying this early on. Shakia. Or Shokia.
You out here against the
What happened?
odds.
Where are we?
On your feet. Nazgrim is organizing a counterattack. We're regrouping in the village. Regrouping in the village? I think I can make it. There's Clutch Pop. His parachute is stuck in the tree, and the way Ellie Honeypaw is trying to help him is by I guess giving him a stick to put his feet on?
Come, speak with me.
Ouch! What's with the
Stay
stick?
focused.
Oh, stop complaining and grab the stick. I mean, he's stuck up there. He can't... grabbing the stick isn't gonna help.
Hey, how you doing?
Get me out of here! This lady's gonna kill me! Oh, quit messing around, Clutch Pop. Use your knife. Nazgrim wants you to report to the village immediately. Oh, alright. Don't get your trousers in a bunch. I'll meet you back in the village. You need to seriously rethink your definition of help, lady. You're dangerous with that stick. She's like, sorry, just tried to help. Honeydew Village. Should we allow them to stay here? They have wounded to tend to. They will bring more destruction to our village. How can you remain neutral after watching them blow us out of the sky? But what about the bombs that landed in our farms from your warship? Those are the casualties of war. A war we did not have until you arrived.
What is your hurry?
Well, it's not as much as I would have hoped, but it will have to do. I guess there's no sense in crying over spilled brew.
Goodbye.
Blood and thunder!
These are the only survivors? So be it. We'll play the hand fate has dealt us. Numbers be damned. This is where heroes are made.
Our enemies must fall!
So I want to point out that we went from having this giant force to 6 people. The 4 survivors we found, Nazgrim, and ourself. That's it. That's the case on both sides, by the way. So now we basically have to rely on the Pandarians.
Hello.
Your fighting has brought about much destruction to our tiny village. We have no interest in your war, but we will not turn your injured away.
Next one is on me.
Because the Pandarians are decent people.
What do you want, stranger? Leave.
I am glad you took responsibility for your actions. Left unchecked, negative emotions can quickly overwhelm an individual here, just as they started to overwhelm the one you call Nazgrim.
I am finished with you.
Ah, so your conflict at the ruins is beginning to pollute the local wildlife? This is very troubling. I have never seen a reaction so intense. Thank you for protecting the village, but it is a tragedy that those poor animals had to die.
Leave. If it is war you mean to bring to our shores, the very land itself will respond to your passions and your violence. I do not know what the ultimate consequences will be. Nobody does.
I was curious if he was going to say anything else. So those are extra things right there.
You have a
One of which is the dragon
Yes,
riding
guys,
tutorial,
let's
which we don't need to do. This is a way for us to go to the thing that lets us customize our dragons. Which I guess I'll go ahead and pick one to use here. Let's go ahead and...
Greetings.
Home is where the Hearthstone is.
Travel safe.
Get it? Although I have a number of Hearthstone toys. I wish there was an infinite one. Sadly, there is not. And I've never gotten the Headless Horseman's Hearthstone. Though I think that is something I have to do the quest during that time for, which I'll have to do at some point. Well, let's just go ahead and use the Time Walkers one, since we are doing a time walking thing here, basically. Right.
Welcome. I hope to see you again soon.
Alright. I think I just jumped 2 levels. I was like, I don't even have Throglaive yet. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and cut it off here. I'll probably just leave my Demon Hunter in the inn to get some rested XP for now. And when we return, we will be continuing to see what we can do to possibly even make amends to this village. By the way, take note of the amount of infinite dragons that are here, not being seen by the Pandarians. An observer here, a watcher over there. An observer over there. They're just everywhere. And remember, only we can see them. The Pandarians are not seeing them. Anyone from the past doesn't see them. It's just us. I will go ahead and show you guys this, though. So let me show you the Infinite Bazaar. So yeah, this just took me to the monastery over here. I can be able to go back where I was.
Tell no lies. Trust yourself.
So the bazaar is the area where you can go to do a lot of, say, acquiring things. Like, this is where you can grab stuff, sets from LFR, normal for the raids. This is the big one right here, though. I love that he has the mount you can get now, which I have now. But this is Hemet Nessingwary the 17th. I love it. That is wonderful. He has the title of Beastmaster.
Great to meet you.
And he is the one you talk to if you want to acquire a number of the mounts you can get from this. Including, yes, the actual, like, big world boss mounts. Those ones. And as you can see, I have gotten enough on my main to acquire some of them. The Nalak mount, the Wulon mount. Some of these I already had. Like, I already had the Shaw of Anger mount, the Astral Cloud Serpent, the Throne of Thunder mounts. I haven't gotten the Galleon saddle yet. I have gotten a couple of the Dire Horns here. A couple of the other ones I can go ahead and grab. I think this is the one that drops from Mundasta. I'll grab that one too at some point. There's some other ones here that are unique that you'll be able to keep when the event is over, like a Fell Iron Juggernaut. Or a Cobalt Juggernaut. I'm glad I finally got one of these. I never had one of them because I hadn't done the Shadowpan rep. But now I finally have one of the Shadowpan Tigers, and I'm so happy I have this. I really like this mount. I may even use it. Let's go ahead and actually do that for the moment. There we go. But yeah, this is the guy I intend to visit more. But as you can see, you can also be able to use the bronze to upgrade some of your pieces of gear. And if you want to see how many times you can upgrade it, that many. But it's going to take a lot.
Seek the truth.
This is the guy you can go to if, like, I want to scrap this.
It is very wise to
Now, this is part of the reason why I am doing the questing. There are class apparels that you can acquire, but in order to do them, to acquire these, you have to do some achievements. And some of the achievements have to do with the questing. Whether it's the Isle of Thunder, Landfall. If you want to see what I'm talking about.
Mastery in your passions.
Now, completing some of these campaigns will, of course, get you some greater bronze caches, which is great. That's nice. However, doing some other ones here will get you some other things like toys or appearances or pets or a mount. So, I figured if I'm going to be going for some of these rewards, why don't I record it? So, yeah. You guys can probably get the idea of what I'm talking about here. And there are dailies that you can grab that will give you some of these rewards. This gives you more bronze. This is the cash you've been seeing me get. These are the things you get that allow you to permanently increase the power of your cloak. And this is just a minor one, but you can get stronger ones later. And you can get these from doing things such as queuing for a random dungeon, queuing for a scenario, or LFR. Oh, okay. That's just reminding me that I need to show some of the scenarios, like, I need to show Theramore probably next. Because apparently it actually took place before this. Also, because I've unlocked these items on my main character, I can acquire these now for this character. And this is how you unlock trinkets, rings, and a neck.
I enjoyed speaking with you.
This is why I wanted to make sure I took the time to get those achievements done on my main before I did these alts for this playthrough, so they could have those ready to go. So now I'll be able to actually equip a lot more gems and such. And of course, get more, stats and such. So, anyways.
What do you want? Do not share what I have said.
So if I want to wear a shirt or a tabard, this is how I get those things.
Goodbye. And
this is basically like the main stuff in this event. Because like I said, there's no auction house. There is a bank you can access that you can store stuff in. But this is like the main thing. Because of course, there is a little bit of gold, but it doesn't really matter because bronze is the main currency here. So now we're just going to go back to where we were. And there we are. Same thing here. I took Portal to go to this so I can be able to, say, customize one of my mounts here. I could either show you guys the old Blazing Farrak or the Shadow Flame Farrak. I could also show you the Elementium Drake. I could have my other dragons go for more of an Infinite Dragon look, since of course we are here on behalf of the Infinite Dragons, who may as well represent. I could go Void. Nah. We're here because of the Infinites. Let's go ahead and represent with the Infinites, right? In fact, I could do that with this as well if I wanted. And this one too. There we go. Now they're all Infinite Dragons. The question is, which one do I use for this? guess I can figure that out later. And then you can just take the portal back. Alright. So when we return, like I said, we will be continuing to, oh hey, there's Clutch Pop, just kind of chilling and resting.
Yo.
I could get used to living like this.
Have a good one.
Just don't let Nazgrim see you, alright? Anyways, we will continue when we come back. Stay tuned.